Good afternoon. What can you say? That's literally the only way we can start this is what can you say? We expected a lot more. We expected a big response after Atalanta. We didn't get a big response after Atalanta. And now it's probably the end of the era, essentially. I think I didn't bother looking at what was happening after the game as soon as the final whistle went, gentlemen. But apparently, Klopp struck a very forlorn figure walking off the field down the tunnel. So yet again, we failed to score, and in 2 games in a row, we've lost at home. Sir Z, how do you feel right now?
My background says it all. After this, I'm gonna go find a cake shop and just emotionally eat until I have a heart attack.
I was gonna say it looked like you're feeling pushing towards type 2 diabetes with that background. I feel a similar pain.
I don't drink, so this is my vice.
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from there, Brian.
I unfortunately do.
Trevor's going to drink for all of us. Brian, we talk a lot on the Thursday Night podcast about our forward maladies at times, but we really needed the front three to be on fire today, didn't we?
Oh, absolutely, and we didn't get it at all. I mean, was a pretty disappointing thing. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll carry on our Thursday of the Darwin Nunez conversation, but what the hell? I mean, I just don't know what to say. I mean, I watched him right there. I mean, a point blank shot right directly at the keeper. I mean, it was a mess. It was a complete mess. And really, honestly, you see a Mo out there that has no confidence. I mean, they're a whole front line is just in shambles. But as I said right there on social media and already right there, we're just witnessing the dying embers of Klopp. I mean, it's it. I mean, this side has been run ragged. They're tired emotionally, physically. I mean, it's mentally. I mean, we're just done. We saw it at Dortmund. I mean, if you watch the end of Dortmund right there with Klopp right there, it's kind of where the same thing happened right there. You know, where it's just so much emotion put into the mat, put into your sides. Yeah, that they're just gone. They're gone.
I think we almost nearly saw the dying embers of your signal there for a few seconds there, Brian.
Hey, well, maybe Elon didn't like the result either. Maybe I guess.
Trevor, we pointed to defensive woes when the goal went in, but from first minute to last, and as the game went on, even among substitutes, it's quite evident the energy level just isn't there right now, is it? And probably not for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and you can put that down to just people being tired, lack of confidence, so on and so forth. But there just comes a time where the front three has to have some like agency and take some accountability for the amount of chances that they get and that they can't put away. And this is not just Darwin. This is Diaz and this is Mo. Mo got put in the pocket of a defensive midfielder playing center back who was like a doubt to play. And Mo had easily one of his worst games of the season. Darwin, well, we can speak to high hell how many times he's going to hit the woodwork, how many times he's going to kick the ball directly at the keeper. Like the fucking ball has a magnet in it and the keeper's made of metal. And Diaz, for all the industry and all the hard work, every time he gets into the box, he has 7 touches too many and then loses the ball and falls over and stares into nothing. I just, if you can't score a goal against a team whose only clean sheets in the calendar year are against Burnley, then you probably shouldn't win the title. That's, yeah.
So Mohammed there says that the midfield sucked today, but I don't think there's any department whatsoever, apart from Robertson in the second half or the first half, who didn't suck. It was just a dreadful all-round performance. But what I noticed, especially in the second half, there didn't seem to be any sense of movement ahead of the midfield. Like everybody just seemed to stand there and hope the ball reached them. And it just reminded me of like the worst of the Brendan Rodgers style of play, which is basically just move the ball and hope something happens. We know that's not the Klopp way normally, but is fatigue the biggest factor here?
No, I don't buy the fatigue thing. We had players on the bench that even pre-game were saying, at the very worst, we win the game off the bench. Maybe we're just overrating how good we think we are. I understand the players will run ragged, but simple things, it's like passing to one of your own players. These are just basics. Kanate, it's like they're all trying to overcompensate for the crap that happened on Thursday. And the person I feel sorry for the most, I mean, obviously Allison, he helped, he made, a world-class save. But as Klopp, he promised the supporters will have a reaction and they just let him down. And the only thing I put on Klopp is that I don't understand why Elliot isn't starting. I don't understand why Elliot wasn't born earlier. So Salah, he looks like the Chelsea player that everyone warned that we were going to get, and it's sad because we know he's so much better than that. And it's just like from defense all the way up front. McAllister's being man marked out of the game, so you can't really fault him. Endo, he's playing like Casado. It's not the Endo that we expected or the Endo that he's shown us that he can be. I feel sorry for Jones. Us, on Discord, I know, there's people, just cussing him out. But I mean, all right, you miss chances, and his comeback, after a long injury, you can't really blame that on Jones. But players like Szoboszlai, these are like multi-million-dollar players, and they just look so not interested. They just look checked out, and it just doesn't make sense.
Cosby, you have a Fleetwood Mac song title there for you, and I've got a George Harrison song title there for me. It's probably about one of those days where you just retreat back to your headphones and listen to good music to get you over the hump. But this is a thing for me. They're just talking about Jones and all that and digging players out. You say that frequently, and that I agree. Like, they're all our players, and we want them all to do well. And we will have our opinions on certain things in the heat of the moment. But this is a team-wide malaise, isn't it? It's not just one player or two players. The whole team looks like it's short of something.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of got a little bit of a different take, if I'm honest. The full second half were really good. If I'm honest, created loads of chances. That's what you want out of a team, innit? The full second half were actually quite good. Maybe I'm wrong, you know what I mean? I think it's just like a bad finishing. If Liverpool take their chances, you win the game 4-1, and you go, okay, bad first half, better second half, don't you? And we all change our narrative again.
Anderson had a lot of big saves.
Of course, yeah. And then
even the ones that were like directly at him.
Yeah, the Darwin chance on 60, and then Jones goes 1-on-1, and he should do better, of course. And then all the other chances, you know what I mean? Jota should score, and it's Klein, and all these chances, you know what I mean? So it's a case of bad finishing for me. I thought second half we were actually quite good, but yeah, the first half were horrific, bad though. And then, we can call players out, of course we can, but I think we kind of knew anyway that this Liverpool team are the third best in the title race. I think we are the third best, and we've been running on gas for weeks. And now when we're getting our players back, maybe it's just a little too late, and these players can't get up to speed. And we haven't got the games to get them up to speed, you know what I mean? Like your Jota and your Jones and your Trent and your Ali, and they've all come back, and it's fantastic. And again, the team that finished the game with Trent and Jota back, we looked a lot better because the first players are back. Do you know what I mean? So we looked a lot better. I thought Gakpo was excellent when he came on. Maybe that's just me. Yeah. I thought he was excellent. So, you know what I mean? Didn't give the ball away. I thought he had really good end product. I thought he skinned the defender a few times. So I thought that was pretty good as well. So, yeah, it's disappointing, of course it is. But again, it's only got Liverpool got themselves to blame. You've got to take your chances. But we said it for weeks. And we can look back through the whole season. And where Liverpool have come up short in this title race is that we haven't took our chances. I looked at the chances again. I know I don't want to keep digging Darwin out, mate. So other people can do that for me today. Other people can dig him out today. But he's missed out big chances in big games, which have cost you points. Look at Luton away when he misses the ball from 2 yards and you draw the game 1-1. Do you know what I mean? So as much as today can be frustrating, but this has been a continuation for like weeks. Liverpool, you know what I mean? This is just, it is what it is. Liverpool have been poor, taking their chances, and that's fine in effect of that. But we are the third best. I look at the Arsenal team today. You can name the Arsenal team the whole season. There've been no injuries. They've lost no one. Like they haven't even lost like a Saka for 6 weeks, have they? They just went, now we're fully fit and we're going to go again. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool have had fucking injury after injury and been performing out the skin. So as much as we can sit here, guys, and be disappointed that we're not going to win a league title after finishing 5th last year, let's just relax there, you know what I'm saying? I'm not shouldn't be anywhere near the title race at the start of the season. We've come up short. Okay, we come up short, no problem at all. And that happens in football. But I tell you what,
I think as much as it's missing the chances, if we can't keep clean sheets, we can't. You're not going to win the league if we can't keep clean sheets.
And I get that. And
we haven't been any of the top 6 teams. And but you're right. I mean, yeah, beginning of the season, we thought, oh yeah, top four. And it's like that Godfather meme, you know. You think you're out, and they pull you back in, and he freaking Klopp pulled us back to his. You know, he's got us believing again, and that's where the biggest disappointment is, because it was within touching distance.
It's not touching distance is like losing on the last day. 6 games, 7 games. It's a lot of footy. It's a lot of footy. You know what I mean? To play. What we've been scarred because of the previous seasons with City, where you win 18 games at the bounce and not win the league. Do you know what I mean? So we've been scarred of that. But this is not a normal season. 8 games. I'm not going to tell you. I says you should know. In the last 20 years of footy, 8 games to go in a title race is a lot of footy, isn't it? In a title race. But because those 2 seasons have scarred us so much, do you know, like, it's in a weird way. If Villa actually takes something today, which is a long shot, but if Villa takes something today, we have to sit there and go, not that bad, you know. Still, because it's insane, because that's what footy does to you. But again, you know, I don't expect Liverpool to win the league, but we all should be proud of what they've done this season. With all the injuries and all the setbacks that we've had, mate, we should all be super proud. The target at the start of the season was top 4 and a trophy. Liverpool can deliver top 4 and a trophy. It's just disappointing the way it ended. Do you know what I mean? But you've kind of got to kick on. And I think, Sizzy, you put something in the Discord which kind of rang true to me. If you're a manager now who wants to take over Liverpool, you can kind of look and go, well, you know what I mean? There's still loads there. And if it's a bit like Arsenal last year where they kind of ran out of steam. Do you know what I mean? Towards the end, they had the Saliba injury and that they kind of Liverpool just kind of ran out of steam a little bit. Do you know? So loads of positives in terms of the whole season. But yeah, of course, disappointment today.
Brian, we talked about this on Thursday, the Thursday podcast, about the statistic that basically since January, our shot conversion rate has gone steadily downwards. And as Cozzy said, you know, you have to finish those chances, and it wasn't today. We can't look at today and say a league title was lost today because the warning signs were there. If we combine that in with the next manager, is the next manager looking at this and going, that's an exhausted team? Or is the next manager going to come in and look at our front line and go, they're quite wasteful? I think there's better attackers out there that can help us.
I think a little bit of both. I think that I do still think that we're going to see some changes in our front 3. I think that I definitely think that Mo's probably going to be off. I see a very tired Mo out there right now, and you know, and it's the same thing with Diaz. I mean, they keep on flirting this whole thing with whether Diaz is going to stay, Diaz is going to go. I mean, I think that they're exhausted, but I think that the next manager has to put his thumbprint in the side right there, and that's going to be how the formation goes. We talked about on Thursday about if it is Almiron plays an entirely different role, different way than Klopp. I mean, we don't have these wide guys out there that you have. You have 2 attackers that usually go there and hang a little bit close in, and you have wingers that run off it. So that who's going to play better in that same position? I don't know whether it's going to be a forward that hangs the touchline, or it's going to be a forward who basically sits back as more of a central attacking midfield type of forward. But either way, right there, I think the next manager definitely have like the making of a good side in there. I mean, we're not bad. I mean, it's like It's not doom and gloom completely right there. We overachieved. I mean, like Kazi was saying. I mean, who would expect it right there for us with a brand new midfield and stuff like that, even be in this position? We're third best. I mean, and it's the truth. And I don't see City dropping points. So I think this is pretty much a done thing. I mean, but hey, next manager comes in right there. We go again.
Trevor, while I bring Timuchin in here, Sparky Parky said the next manager needs to stop conceding goals, and it was a bit of a running joke when it first started early on, but conceding the first goal in a lot of games, it's getting a bit tiring at this point, isn't it?
It is, and until Jurgen Klopp puts a shirt on and starts playing central defense, my huge thing with the conceding the first goal and how much of a absolute meme it's become, and how it's like, we're gonna spot him one. That it's the annoyance of that is how it's just kind of, that's just the way it is, and there's no kind of recognition of what's causing it. And people just over the past month, like Van Dijk has kind of been a whipping boy for how porous the defense has been, but my God, Konate today just didn't seem to have any sort of peripheral vision at all. He's anything that like kind of came near him. I don't know if he just forgot how to kick a ball a couple times, but it's one of those things where you try to figure out what goes wrong on a particular play. And with that one, just the fact that Eze was so wide open on that goal, I'm trying to piece it together, and I'm trying to go back and look at it because I was listening to it on the radio when it happened, and you have no answers. So at that point, how do you fix something where you don't even know the question to ask?
The goal, I know you're going to, the goal, right, that we can see, Bradley gets destroyed. Endo shouldn't go over. Endo commits himself to go over and block the cross when Endo should just stay still. Your central midfielder just stays still for the cutback. He doesn't stay still for the cutback. He gets done. And that's how they score. That's where the space comes from, mate, right? But the difference is, all day when Liverpool did that for Palace, that Adam Wharton and Will Hughes just stood there and said, we'll just clear the ball. And by the way, trust Anderson to clear the ball. It was excellent, by the way. I thought he was one of the best players on the pitch for Palace. So I think that's where the space came from. So that's just a catalogue of mistakes defensively. Do you know what I mean? Which is, again, as you say, it's been like that most of the season. On certain goals, it's been a catalogue of errors.
My thing though is, I was surprised that Bradley got any sort of blame on the Discord channel for that. Is that he had to go out and close that ball down, and he was 2v1 when he did that.
Yeah, mate,
I mean, look, it's essential. You have to close the ball down.
He doesn't close the ball. He doesn't get close enough.
No, but that's because he had two players on him.
Yeah, but you've got to commit to one. You can't be in no man's land.
Yeah, so that he did, but he went to go across the ball and close the ball down. Look at it back again. Like,
yeah, I mean,
when the ball came back again.
I think you've just got to smash him. I think you've just got to. I think he's.
Maybe he does have to smash him, but what I'm saying is, in his head, he has to go and do. He can't sit back because then it's a free cross.
I think he gets.
So he has to go.
I think he gets caught for 2 months.
He does, but what I'm saying is, like in terms of how the defense functioned, everybody didn't do their job.
Oh, I agree.
The first man is going to get caught out one way or the other.
You can't get caught in 2 months. That's all I'm saying. You've got to commit to one. As a defender, as well, you know, Mac, you know the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you've got to commit to one, he's a kid. This is a fucking kid. He's a fullback. He's a kid, and he's going to make mistakes like Kwanzaa did last week. He's a fucking kid, and he makes mistakes. But the problem is they're learning on the job for Liverpool in a title race, which is so harsh for these kids to be learning the trade, isn't it? So,
but very, very Liverpool-like to do.
Yeah, of course, mate. Of course. Again, well, it's hard to say, but I do blame the kid a little bit. But he's also a kid, and you just got to go, he's a fucking kid. What can you do?
Timuchin, Nick says that we've been playing to the level of a competition, and we've done it for years. I think we've mentioned that post-game a few times. But did we really play down to Crystal Palace, or did they just have a plan to frustrate us that they performed very, very well against our very poor performance in the attack?
I mean, honestly, it comes down to finishing. By the way, going back to the goal, I kind of if we're splitting the pie as we always do, I'm probably giving the biggest slice to Konato over there. He has no business coming out of the box like that and then trying to track, because you can see Van Dijk trying to step up to the guy, but Van Dijk already had a person. That should be kind of like what Kazi is saying: park in the middle and clear that ball, clear the cross, instead of just being caught in no man's land. But going back to what you were saying, I honestly think, it's not nothing about, playing down to the competition or anything like that. You have your chances there. The difference between average teams, good teams, and great teams is quality, right? And you have the quality. How many times have you played against teams where they had chances they couldn't finish, but then, our quality finishes and gets the goals? Today, and honestly, you can probably look at last couple of weeks at least, the people who we know has the quality. Mo, like, we can't argue that, right? Even Jota today just did not show their quality when it comes to finishing. They finished like you would expect them to do. We're about to post something on Instagram, like 4 different situations in the game. And if I asked you how many of these do you think are goals, you would say at least 2 or 3. And they were not. So I just go back to, we created the chances. I know they played well, but regardless of how well they defended, we had those freaking chances that are like, it should freaking go in, for fuck's sakes. Like, Nunes is like dodgeball. If I told you to hit the goalie, you wouldn't be able to from there. Jones misses, that's pressure. But it all goes back to, when you can't finish these chances as quality players, I have to go back to putting it on pressure and just not being able to, almost like tightening up too much and kind of folding under the pressure. If you're going to say mentality monsters when you come back on the 92nd minute, 95th minute, you got to call it what it is. This team is kind of, today you could kind of see a team panicking that everything was slipping away from the get-go. We asked for a reaction, but you can kind of see in their play, this is a team worrying that it's all slipping away, and when you do that, it does slip away.
So Z, there's a story I like about the great Inter team of the 60s, and it's basically that Helenio Herrera ruled that team with an iron fist. They had to go into hotels 4 days before a game and not see their families, etc., etc. So when they played Celtic in '67. In the European Cup final, and Celtic were just overrunning them. The players, like they've said this in post-career interviews, they just gave up. They just said, it's done. This is the end of this cycle, and we have no more to give. Now, obviously, our players love Klopp. They don't hate Klopp in any way, shape, or form. But the fact that he's leaving at the end of the season, do you think that's got into the players' heads that, we have no more to give, and there's not going to be any comeback for it because a new guy is going to come in?
No, I think they're more professional than that. I don't buy into that. Because we did up until Thursday. Yeah, albeit like, apart from the Man United games, we held our own. The youngsters held their own. The youngsters went out there with a point to prove, and they did it for Klopp. You can tell they played for Klopp. I don't want to say these players are. I know what I said on Discord, out of emotion, but if Klopp is at fault for anything, he does play his players down to the ground, mentally and physically, and you can see that of all the players that have left Liverpool since. They're the shadow of themselves, but still, like I said, basic errors. You can stop basic errors. Like Konaté, he doesn't need to do these Hollywood passes. Just keep the ball. If you're lacking confidence, keep the ball and just keep it short. You don't need to do them telegraph passes. We got away with Van Dijk's slip, and Robertson gave it all, and he saved it from being 2-0. Jones, you can't fault him for that miss. It happens. If Salah can miss from 2 yards, Jones, you can't. You can't point the finger at him. You can't slate him for that, and you can't dig Jones out for that miss. He's coming back after a long injury. He's still one of the best players we have, and he'll be one of my first choice midfielders going forward. But I don't know. But but players like Diaz, if he wants to go, then fuck off, he can go. It's not like how when we thought he was going to leave, and then and my heart sank that Mane was leaving. I don't have that same kind of attachment to Diaz. You know, if he wants to go and so Salah, yeah, maybe he's just run his course now, and they're probably going to get less than 150 million for him now. But yeah, it's a shame because it reminds of like Steven Gerrard's last season, and felt like we owed him so much and we owed Klopp so much, and it just feels like it's just pettering out to nothing.
Trevor, psychologically going into Thursday, we can't sit here and say we actually from this team because we said that on Friday. But for the second, like in terms of not just the league season, but I mean, there is a chance of redemption if they can win the Europa League. But we just don't look like we have the form right now, do we?
No, and I'm a person with my professional sport fandom profile. I'm used to getting kicked in the face, so I'm not totally out of it yet. I'm not jumping off the bridge. I root for a lot of teams that bring me nothing but pain. So this is something where, yeah, it hurts in the moment, but we can, there's a lot of things in play that we can hope for that can kind of bring things back. Do I expect them to happen? No, but it's not as if City is 6 points ahead and we had to like keep, try to just stay within that gap and blow teams out to make up a ground. There's still a bit of striking distance. So I'm not entirely like this is done and dusted. There's still a lot of tricky fixtures, and Arsenal can always shit their pants at a moment's notice. Yeah. My big thing with this season is just how everything is just deteriorated so quickly, because it was less than a month ago where we're like, the quad, it's happening. Yes, let's do it. And then just one result is like, oh God, everything's falling apart. And then another, oh geez, everything stinks. All these players suck, blah, blah, blah. But my hugest thing with the performance today is there is, and it's something that we talk about all the time, the urgency from the start and the urgency at the end, they kind of need to be in congruence. There has to come a time where we come out of the gates looking to put a team away, and when there's times at the end when you have to go chase a game, which we've been doing a bunch of times, too many times there's just been a lot of like lackadaisical plays that what are you doing passing the ball around the midfield 7 times when you're trying to make a cutting pass? I don't know. It's something where you have higher expectations for these guys given the heights they've reached, but maybe it is just the end. I'm just not ready to put him in the grave yet.
Because it's not done and dusted, as I said. I mean, we do need to be absolutely perfect from here on in if a miracle is to occur. But sometimes miracles do occur, as happens today in the Scottish League, where Ross County beat Rangers. Which I think it was for the first time in a long time, if not ever.
In their history.
Yeah, in the history. I mean, these things can happen. Arsenal can potentially lose a game that everybody expects them to win, and nobody knows how City are going to react, depending around the Champions League.
Yeah.
But the need in our sort of fictional version of how these management things go, there needs to kind of be, do you think, a sit down and go, look, lads, we've got so many games left. What's going on? And let's figure it out, and let's make sure we leave the fans, if nothing else, with something to shout about at the end of the season, rather than like go out with a bang rather than a whimper.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm with Savvy, and I don't think it's dead. I think it's a stress that we can win it now, but I don't think it's dead. Far from it. I think it's, and I'll tell you why. I just feel like the way Liverpool do things, man. We just do things in weird ways, like. Do you know what I mean? And then in 6 weeks, we all call them the best players in the world. It's just mad. I'm actually different. I think I'm the only one who thought we played well second half. Maybe I'm the only one. We created like 4 or 5 clear-cut chances. That's not bad play. That's bad finishing, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like I had to retract all of my Cody Gakpo slander from Thursday. He's the only guy for like half an hour that seemed like he gave a shit.
He was absolutely excellent on that left-hand side, and he says that's his best position. He says that. He says he doesn't like playing down the middle, so maybe he is the left-hand side of the player. I just feel like And with Arsenal, mate, I think they got Bayern Munich and then Wolves away. And I just feel like, and then by the way, if City and Arsenal play each other in the semis, do you know what I mean? I think City go to Brighton as their next league game away on a Thursday night, which just screams like a slip up as well. I don't know about you guys. I don't know. I just feel like the way Liverpool do things, just do things in mad ways. The team that finished with Salah, and I get the Salah slander, I understand it, and he deserves his criticism, but he has come back from his first long-term injury in 7 years, and he's taken a long time to get up to speed. Trent's first game's back, Jota's got some minutes, Gakpo's looking good. I just feel like the team that finished could still do things. Do you know what I mean? In a weird way. And again, maybe that's just me being kind of naive to this. But the one thing I'd say is, mate, I'm not fucking resting place for that Atlanta. Like, I'd rather you be, you know what I mean? Like, that game now turns into, oh, you need to win the game. But also the players who need minutes are our first team players. Like your Trent, like your Jota. Before you know it, you go, all these lads need minutes. But by the way, this is our best team. So it's like kind of mad. The narrative around Liverpool is today, of course, is the missed chances, and it's been like that all season. The strikers, mate, right, as much as you can say it about the team and defensively, and I get it, you don't win leagues unless you keep clean sheets. And that's what cost Liverpool in 13-14, by the way, if you actually look back. Liverpool don't win the leagues because you don't keep up clean sheets. Liverpool draw 1-1 to West Brom and stuff like that, and but anyway, that's by the by. You can't be taking your £65 million striker off when you need a goal 1-0 down at home. So he has to have a serious look at himself. And as much as I don't want, you know what I mean, so does Luis Diaz. You have to, why are you taking me off for your, you know what I mean? Why are you, Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez should be looking and go, why are you taking me off? This is our last basically game to keep the title in our hands, basically. Why are you taking me off? Should they too need to have a serious look at their performances? Endo, last 3 games, pathetic. Let's get it right. Awfully bad. Like bad. Not even like remotely good in any way. Like done nothing of any good on a football field for 3 games. So he has to look at himself. But I am with Trev. Let's not fucking just all sit, all depressed and think, well, that's it. No, these lads are playing out of their skin. The target was top 4 on a trophy this season. That can be delivered still. And the lads can still get to the promised land. And the way Liverpool do things, Mark, and you will know, for the history of Liverpool, we just do things in mad fucking ways, don't it? Like mad ways. Like the lowest the lows to the highest the highs in 2 weeks. Seriously, he said it. Trev said it. 2 weeks ago, we were all going to do the quad. It's just like the most Liverpool thing ever, just to be like dead in the dumps and then go, fucking hell, Villa just drew with Arsenal then. And then you can look at the table and go, fucking hell, Brighton going to fucking, City going to Brighton, and then you'll all go, fucking hell, oh my God, you know what I mean? Before you know, you're back in it. So
City still have their bogey team Spurs.
They have to go to Spurs, but I think they never won there in the league. They won there in the cup like this year, didn't they? They never won there in the league. So they have to go there as well. And before you know it, again, weirder things have happened. That's all I'm saying. Weirder things have happened. I don't think we are going to win the league, but let's just not sit here all depressed. Let's give it a fucking go. Let's have a go at it, you know what I mean? Let's just fucking try it. And again, if Villa take points off Arsenal today, let's see what happens.
Timuchin, because he makes that point there about the forwards, is there space for saying that maybe Klopp can sometimes not be adventurous enough in the subs? That maybe he could have put Jota on with Diaz, with Núñez, and with Salah, and just go hell for leather and just try and get those goals back.
We've played no midfield.
We've done that before. I mean,
you're playing like shit. We're just doing 6 forwards.
We had 2 midfielders in the first half and played like we had no midfield anyway, so might as well just fucking go.
I mean, he's done that. He's put Gakpo in midfield and stuff like that. He's tried that before. I don't know. I mean, the one that comes to me, and I think Victor was saying it on Discord too, that, we backed into the Trent substitution due to Bradley. I mean, there is nothing to save anybody for, and I know he has faith in the guys out there, but Trent should have been probably there earlier. Would that made a difference? I don't know, but you can tell the impact he makes, because just the fact that when he receives the ball, he pulls people to him because he's going to be able to pass and stuff. Yeah. And then you put Trent in that role. Obviously, he tries some balls maybe normally he would not have and stuff like that. But you can also see what you're missing in terms of his creativity and stuff. I don't know. Like, I look at this game, it's so hard to put it on Klopp, man, because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you are the manager, you're going to go back. you're gonna go home tonight. You're gonna be like, how the fuck did we not score? I mean, that's what you're going to say. And what is he supposed to do? He's not gonna go tap it in instead of Nunez or Jota or Jones. And like I said, I find it hard to put this on Klopp. And there is a happy medium. I mean, I'm interacting with like the audience at like on IG Live as well, and it's. You don't have to jump off, but you don't have to sell everyone. There's like a happy medium in there, that we can find. Is it over? No, but as always, we put it in somebody else's hands and we just dropped what was in our hands. Yeah. I don't see it likely, especially City. I think Brian was saying it earlier in the comments. I don't see them. They're much less likely to lose points. And how do you look at this team and say, oh, we'll win out? And then, now we just have to wait for them to. But what are you going to do? You're just going to keep supporting. There's a lot of good pieces. You can be disappointed and frustrated, but be slightly positive at the same time. I think it's just like the post-match. That's why I come here, see? It's the therapy aspect of it. Now I can go be miserable watching Fenerbahce or somebody, so...
So what kind of like Sherlock Holmes had his like 2 and 3 point problems? How many cakes is it going to take to get the 9 pain away?
Question. Go on.
I would have gone like for 4 or 5. You know what? Like Thursday was the first time I did dessert on Thursday.
I'm buying into the idea, by the way.
Desserts.
This isn't a virtual background. This is actually what's going on.
I'm buying into the idea of every Liverpool loss says he gets diabetes.
Seriously, like I almost broke like at the Arsenal game. I thought, no, it's just a one-off, and then the Man United game almost broke me. Thursday just had me. And then it's like I was saying to Kazi, like I blame it on him. Is now. That like a fondue? It's like my Godfather meme. Like it's you thought you left and you pull me back in, and Kazi's bringing me back in. I'm feeling optimistic again. And then we're gonna lose the next game, and then it's gonna go from desserts to like freaking. I might start drinking. I've never drank in my life. It's getting to that point.
Join the dark side.
No,
just so I can give up in January. I start to take up smoking this. I can give it up.
There's some drinks that taste like cake, just so you know. So there's some drinks that taste like cake.
I'll tell you a pastry stout that tastes exactly like Neapolitan ice cream, and it's a hard pool to swim out of.
As he chugs it down.
This is just a nice little 4% porter. Nothing.
Oh. If that's not a promotion, I don't know what is.
Hey, this says he like.
Oh, that's me. That's my communion photograph.
Says he's like.
Who's bringing into Mecca's old photo albums over there? What is going on?
That's me after I got my communion money.
Go to Timoshins and get some Uzo. just go from 0 to 100.
You went to school with Matilda, or was it Madeline? I get those two mixed up.
Right. Wrap this up, Maka. Fucking hell.
I had that hair as well.
Did I?
Oh man, chocolate cake. I think I'm gonna have to go get one of those now. Although Sparky Parky's gone off fancy, he's gone from cakes to clotted cream and puddings. I'm on clotted arteries, so I'm way ahead of you, Sparky Parky.
Gotta catch up.
But all the same, though, it is good to laugh at that, because like we are Liverpool fans, aren't we? And we do it, as Cosy says, the difficult way. It's never easy at Liverpool.
It's always a laugh, isn't it? It's a game of footy.
Even when it was easy, we had to fight COVID. Bro. Like seriously, like it's just like freaking. We just like getting shitted on.
Says he's gone. He's absolutely gone.
Yeah, let's Thursday go to his cakes, man. He needs it.
It's a laugh. By the way, for the new fans, it's a laugh. It's just a fucking game of footy. It doesn't affect your health. It doesn't affect your family, your well-being. Just laughing off. It is what it is.
I'll be honest. If it wasn't for this, it would affect me at least the rest of the day, if not more.
I know. And I used to let it affect my whole being. But who cares anymore? Like, who's asked? We're in our 30s.
That's the definition of getting old, my friend.
Of course it is.
Putting it in the proper perspective, yeah, you can get angry. And if you go into our Discord, and if anybody who's not in
Stay
there,
off the internet.
why not?
Yeah.
There's something. There's a lot of things where all of us say, and there's things in the moment where you're just like, oh God, this person is like mentally unstable.
Seriously, lost his head. Lost his head.
This is what this space is for, to come in here and just like talk about things in a fashion where you have the proper blinders on and you can look at stuff with the proper perspective and just kind of get all of the shit out of your head so it doesn't just like torpedo the rest of your day, weekend, month, year.
Yeah.
I'll be there for you.
I've tried 80 different superstitious rituals. Like I sat in 80 different positions, like just superstitiously, like had my legs crossed over on one and then put my left leg over my right.
So you're doing yoga at the same time as you're watching.
Sitting on the top, side down like this.
The Cersei gone down 1 goal, like Mona Lisa stance, and then there's the missed penalty Macarena. I don't know.
Well, whenever we made a successful pass, I thought, oh yeah, that's it. So I just left my hand like that until like Endo screwed it up.
Fucking hell, lads! It could be worse. It could be Everton.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, that's always the perspective we have to take. We could be Everton, and
the unflushable turd.
We'll have to be eating cakes for every point they get deducted, and that's a lot of cake. That's even too much cakes for me and Cersei together.
Yes.
There's not enough.
There's not enough for Anon when he has to come up on that Thiago scoring bet.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
I think he jinxed it.
I hate to pile on somebody who's not here, but that's kind of
Anan. Oh, Anan's a great person to pile on to. Don't worry about that.
Oh yeah, just jump in. The water is great. Yeah.
He's there right now, cuddling his Darwin pillow,
and we'll be piling on the donuts if the Thiago bet doesn't come through, which it's not going to.
I'd rather have Anan up front at the moment than our fucking number now.
I'll teach you tomorrow. I'll bring him back.
That won't be a bad one to go.
Been a pleasure.
Well, let's have some final thoughts on it. We've clearly got a perspective about it, and I think as well it has to be. I don't want to be maudlin and all that, but it has to be said for Liverpool Football Club, especially with the weekend that's in it and the day that's in it. It is just the game ultimately, isn't it?
Yeah.
It drives us insane. It makes us crazy. It gives us type 2 diabetes. But ultimately, there are bigger things in life than just a game of soccer, and it would do us well to always remember that. But what are our final thoughts going from Timuchin to Trevor to Suzy to Cozzy on just where this all fits in? It's not we want the ideal ending to Klopp's legacy, but nonetheless, he is given us a legacy to be disappointed about an ending like a game today, hasn't he? It's not going to besmirch him in any way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those. I mean, it's been a week where it's okay to be frustrated, have mixed emotions, and all that kind of stuff. I think it's all justified. And these are times I hate where everybody, tells the other one how to be a fan and stuff like that. I think it's okay to have. I'm probably there. Have a mix of emotions. You can be extremely devastated and frustrated because we were about to go. This team was creating miracles, and now it's like you never know. You can go Kazi's way. You can say, "Hey, we didn't even expect to be here," and you look at the glass half full that way. You can be frustrated that how the hell do we not score in these chances? And so I think it's kind of like for me at least, it's a mix of all, and I think that's kind of like natural. All you can do is, do the therapy so we can kind of, at least for today, move on with our days until I have to talk about it again tomorrow morning. And then, just hope that some things go our way. And that's really it, man. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Trevor, we've had our moments with the attack on Thursday nights. But ultimately, we do want them all to do well, don't we? And whatever we get at the end of the season, as Cozzy says, we've had a trophy. We'll probably finish somewhere in the top 4 and be in the Champions League next year. Whatever happens, the next manager is going to have a good set of resources and a great legacy to build on, isn't it?
Yeah, the cupboards aren't bare for the next guy coming in. This is not the absolute going out of business sale that Klopp came into after Rodgers. So it's and my thing with, and if you want to go look at the short about the conversion rate and all that fun stuff of just how wasteful we've been, it's something that across all sports that you're frustrated with people that can't just get that final bit. Like a running back that can run for 150 yards but can't score a touchdown. You want to just have that thing where you don't want to downplay the good things they do, but there has to be an end product. And I think for this last month and a half is a huge shop window for the next manager coming in to see who can do that, who can in this time of, and I feel like I'm like rallying a bunch of superheroes or something, like in this time of need, you need to just find the guys that can go get goals. And if you think that Nunez isn't the guy that can do that, if you think Diaz isn't the guy that can do that, God forbid you think Mo is the guy that can't do that anymore, then there just has to be that kind of cleansing of the forward line. And whoever's coming in next, whether it be Amorim or whether it be generic weird Dutch guy.
It's Robbie
7.
Keane and it's Rory Delap. It's the dream team. Come on, get it right.
We're going to be so great at throw-ins if that happens. But either way, I just want there to be – I don't want this season to go out on a whimper. I want there to be at least some fight shown. Yeah, today sucked. Yeah, Atlanta sucked even more. But if this just leads to an absolute just wet fart of a last month and a half, I'm going to be upset. But for now, I have to be just cautiously optimistic because there are so many things in play that could still put us in a position to not send Jurgen off on sitting on a whoopee cushion.
So what are your final thoughts on this? And should I have vanilla cake or chocolate cake after this?
I think you should have both.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll do that for you, Suzy.
Don't discriminate.
We're an equal opportunity cake show.
There you go. Scoring goals, we can go through Spurs not score, but not keeping clean sheets. That's not a title-winning team. And like Akazi mentioned, like the year we almost won it under Rodgers, Mignolet let in 58 goals. You can't win a title conceding goals.
Mm-hmm.
The defense has to, even if it's 0-0, that's a point gained. But to concede, and it was going to catch up with us. Conceding first, it was going to catch up with us, and it caught up with us today. And it's just, the goals will come. Everyone goes for barren spells. Goals will come, but clean sheets, that's just your basics. That's the fundamentals of, at least getting a point.
Cosby, give us that bouncy Zebedee Scouse wisdom that you're so famous for. Put everything into perspective for us.
I can't tell people how to support the team. People can do their own thing. If you want to feel angry,
right, get off the show.
Frustrated. But I mean, if you want to feel angry, frustrated, sad, you do you. That's no problem at all. But I've just have a different perspective to things. So happy about what this team's done for me this season. This team's actually gave me a lot of happiness and joy in my life, considering what they were last season, which was not happiness or joy for a long time. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And what I've seen kids like Jaden Dans and Bobby Clark and James McConnell, who probably would never have got a game for Liverpool or ever kick the ball in the first team, win trophies at Wembley. If you can't feel nostalgic about stuff like that, then you're in the wrong game. You're in the wrong sport, because those kids might never kick a ball for Liverpool again. So you're in the wrong sport. I just feel like these lads have given everything they can. They're still creating chances. They're still doing their best, but sometimes it's not your day, and it's not your luck, and it's not your narrative, by the way. Liverpool don't get to create a narrative or create their own story. We all believed in a story of Jurgen Klopp's last season. We all believed in a narrative. I believed in the Steven Gerrard's last season that he's going to win the FA Cup. And then we go to Aston Villa at Wembley, and Dejan Lovren raises one from 40 yards in the 96th minute over the bar. So but maybe City have got their own narrative, and maybe Arsenal have their own narrative to write, and then maybe that's their story. What I can say is, mate, for me personally, there's more important things in football than life. You shouldn't let it affect your well-being anymore. Because before the game, I seen the cop hold up a mosaic, which tells me there's a lot more important things in life than football. These lads are giving everything. It's not exactly like they're not trying. They're trying to perform. So what we can do is give them the belief, give them the manager. If the manager wins the last 6 games, he wins the last 6 games. If he doesn't, he doesn't. The manager looks spent, and that's the reason why he's leaving. And that's the reason why he needs to rest. But you don't tell me, and don't let rival fans like United or City or Chelsea or Arsenal bring you down of what this manager's done for us and what this manager will continue to do for Liverpool in the last, if it's 7 games that he's got left, it's 7 games. But let's just see what happens. Why not try and win a football match? Personally, I don't let it affect me. Let's go on with it. Liverpool are very close, and I'm very, very happy with the season, how it's gone. And there's bigger things to life than football.
I just want to point out you didn't name Everton in the rivals list there, and quite rightly. Yeah.
Everton's opinion means nothing to me, really. You know what I mean? Actually,
I'm just thinking of the fume of any Everton fans watching this going, well, hang on, we're only next door. We're the proper rivals.
At the end of this fucking podcast, they might lose another 2 points. Who knows?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. They might lose points for every bite of a cake me and Sir Z have between now and 8.
Get fucking eating then.
Yeah, right.
It's on the way. But it just remains to say, I think, number one, because he's right, it is just a game, and tomorrow will be a reminder of that it shouldn't affect us the way it seems to affect some people, and we have much more important things to be concerned about, and the fact that we get to enjoy soccer is also a massive thing to be concerned about. We have our morning coffee tomorrow morning, sponsored by Reckless Coffee. We have our Discord channel, our Patreon, which you should all be signing up for and getting all the good goodies, and there'll be more handsome bearded goodness being made up for this week for everybody's edification. Follow us on the YouTube, follow us on the Facebook, the Instagram, X formerly known as Prince or Batman or whatever it is these days, and it just remains to say. I'm not even going to do the music today. I don't think
that's what I came here for.
It just seems tacky, given the weekend. I think we will have a respectful ending this weekend, and we will just do a little tribute to the people who've gone before us that didn't get to come home from a soccer game. But I think it just remains to say peace out, keep the faith. You never walk alone is a song for a reason. Even if we don't get what we want at the end, we're still Liverpool fans, which puts us above 99.9999% of all of soccer, with the exception of supporters of the Liverpool reserves and the Liverpool women's team and the Liverpool under-8s as well. All the great teams. We're still Liverpool fans in the end. Except for Nan. He's a Darwin Núñez fan. He's going to piss off as soon as Darwin Núñez leaves. Yeah. You can put that in the books. He's going to eat donuts for that as well. But just for us, just have a good weekend. Look after each other, and then keep an eye out for our fantastic content, our show tomorrow night, and our morning coffee tomorrow morning to get you going for the week. And then we'll all look forward to Atalanta and how many cakes me and Sir Z will have to eat after that. I think I'm switching to raisin malt loaves or something like that. At least they're a bit healthy. But we say goodbye and we say peace out. It's just a game.